Alright guys, I'll give you a little bit of an update here on my little project here of my track machine. I have gotten it running, I have gotten it moving. I'll show you the problems that I ran into, and I'll show you whereabouts I am with it. So I got the back panel all made up. That's all dimple dyed. I got all the dimple dyes to do that. I made some gussets for up inside there. Motor's all in place. Now the way I have this set up is I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a frame down inside there that the motor is sitting on, and I'm using the existing motor mounts from the existing motor, the ones that came on the machine, and the radiator support and everything is actually mounted on that frame. So if I got to pull the motor out and do some kind of work to the motor, all the cooling system in that comes out with it. Comes out with the motor. There's just 4 bolts that are holding the motor in. And on the front side here, the hydraulic cooler. The hydraulic cooler is actually mounted to this pipe that goes across inside the frame, and it's mounted up here. It's got a bracket here and one on the other side, and all I got to do is just take them bolts out, and the hydraulics, all the hydraulics will stay with the track machine, and then the motor and the radiator and all the coolant will come out with it. That's the hydraulic tank, and the one in the back there, that's the fuel tank. I put in the back here. I put a little sight glass in here with tubing so I can see how much fuel is in the tank. I ended up by a trial and error. What I did is I originally had the suction coming from the motor, the actual fuel coming from the motor coming out here, and then I had the return coming up to the top. And the problem I ran into is, as it was circulating and it was returning back into the tank, it was actually filling this tube with air, and it was actually sucking air back into the motor. So I ended up having to put another cockpit on the bottom, and that runs the fuel. Yeah, it's below the filter, but since I primed it and it's been running, I have not had no problems with it. So that's the only thing I would have to disconnect would be the fuel line there and the return line here, and then the whole thing will come out. The battery will be mounted right there. This stuff here in the front here, the controls, that's just temporary. Like I said, it has been running, it has been moving, and I'll show you the problems I ran into. All the pumps. There's one pump there. That pump runs this drive motor. That pump there runs this drive motor. I ran into a problem here. I started it on the stands and I ran this, and it ran beautiful. It was loud, so I turned around and I switched it to a belt, and I had pulleys in here, idler pulleys in here, and I had a tensioner on the bottom. As soon as I got it on the ground and I started it and wanted to move, it didn't even work. The pump stopped, the belt dead. So I went back to the chain. What I'm going to do is make a full chain guard here. And I'm going to take my brother's idea, and I'm going to put a little grease paint on the top so I can squirt grease inside the chain guard. And the chain was still skipping on the sprocket, so I picked up 2 of these, and I'm actually going to put them in here, which will make the chain go around, so I get more bite on that sprocket. So that shaft there, that shaft runs, I know you can't see it, let me pull the box out here. That shaft runs the full distance of the whole unit. I don't know if you can see it downside here or not. and underneath the hydraulic tank there's a 100 horsepower Lovejoy coupler. You see the bearing block there. On the other side of that bearing block, there's a 100 horsepower Lovejoy coupler that mounts to the motor. So that's a little trial and error there. So the other problem I ran into, if you watched some of my other videos, you actually seen the tires. I wasn't too sure on if the tires were going to work. Well, guess what? They didn't work. You can see the mud on the tracks. My wife killed me when I took it out in the front yard and ripped the front yard up. It was running, it was moving. As soon as I did a 360, the first two tires on both sides blew out. So the sidewalls would not handle the side load pressure, which I wasn't too sure if that was going to work or not, which it didn't. So my little fix that I have for that is this here. I made all these up. It's actually black pipe cut in the steel wheels. They're 1/4 inch thick centers, and the wheels themselves are 3/8 thick. I got all the hubs are all made. I got one here. What I'm going to do is take the bearings out of the wheels that are on the machine and put them bearings in there, and then weld them right in there. That way they'll should be nice and sturdy, and that should take all my side load issue that I was having with the tracks. So, like I said, there's 7 of them there, and I got another one there. This is a little fixture I made for welding them. You know, I put I got a mini graph machine here, and I just took my plasma torch out, and I put my MIG torch down inside there, and I just use that and boop, put it down in where I needed it, and I use that. So all I got to do is and got to work on the wheels. I got to go through and make sure everything's all centered up and that with the hubs. So that's where I'm at right now. That's what it looks like. Yeah, it's being used as a bench too. So that's where it's at right now. And the other thing I think I'm going to majorly change is what I did here with these. As you see, the spring center. I made all these up. This is all aluminum, and made all these spacers up. You know, down on the pumps, way down on the pumps there, I made one down on the pump too. So there's one on either side. So whether you go up, the spring center goes down, the spring center. I don't like it. I think I might end up just redoing it and making some rods come out here and come up to the cab. I know it's another one of the trial and error jobbers. So you know, it does work, but it's very hard to find neutral. So that's something I got to work on. So that's where I'm at. I know a lot of people have been asking about it, so we'll see how everything works here with these new steel wheels. Let's see if I can get another view here on the other side. You just see that tire's blown too. So we'll I'll do the modifications and see what happens. Thanks for watching.